So, cheers to everybody today. Cheers, cheers. Whatever you're drinking, I'm drinking coffee today, of course. I don't know what's been with me. I've been in a serious coffee mode for like all week. Literally all week. I don't know what it's been. It's just coffee, coffee, coffee. So every day I think we've been having coffee. But cheers to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back again to my Coffee Break Conversations, guys. As you know, I love doing these videos for you. And I look forward each and every week to coming on here and just talking to you and being open and being real with you guys and just really talking about subjects that affect us all. And you know, there's a lot of things that when I talk about stuff, there's a lot of things that kind of interweave together, I think, and sound similar. And I kind of recognized that the other day, but also I recognize too that each thing that happens in our life is individual to everybody. So however, you know, you might perceive it a different way if it's, you know, everyone perceives stuff differently. So that's why I love bringing these things to you in hopes that it really does help you in some way. And I felt compelled today to talk to you about living with intention. And a lot of the times, this subject is really, there's a lot of misconceptions, I think, around intention, the word itself, intention.
As in not what you intend to do.
Right.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about.
No.
That's not living in
with intention. No.
So,
yeah.
I just wanted to
get
that out there.
That's fine. That's fine because a lot of people think it's the intent. What are we intending to do today? And although, you know, a lot of people perceive it as intention as that, and I think too a lot of people perceive the word intention as we're going to just put our best intention forward, or you know, she has good intentions or he has good intentions. And the thing is that's not really what it's about, because you can have good intentions on anything and still not be living in alignment with what you really, who you truly are. And so that's what I wanted to get into today, guys, is living with intention and purpose. I want to include that and purpose, because when, you know, we live our lives, everybody lives their lives every day. I think a lot of us tend to live our lives just going about what we need to do. We don't really have a purpose. We don't really have good intention. And we just go about our lives every single day doing the same thing every day, right? And we're not really living in that purpose. We're not really living out what we really want to do. A lot of people are in that state of mind anymore. You know, because like I said before, we all live in our heads. Most everybody lives in their head. And that is one of the hardest things, I think, to do, is get out of living in your head and get into living in your body. And that's where intention, I think, comes in, because you have to intentionally, on purpose, really focus. Cycle. Yeah, break that cycle and really focus on where you're at. And so one of the things that I've discovered, okay, with myself personally, is and sometimes I still follow the same path. I tend sometimes days to go back and you know, because we're human, and sometimes, you know, we backslide and go back, and we easily get back into our old ways. I mean, it's so easy to just get back into living in your head, waking up and letting the day take you over, right? We're not being present, like, you know. A lot of the times when people will wake up, they'll go, oh, we'll set a schedule for today, set this for the day, and then at 8 a.m. I'm doing this, at 9 a.m. I'm doing this, at 9:30 this, at 10 o'clock. That is not living with intention neither, guys. So don't think that you're just going to get up and you're going to follow this tight agenda with this tight schedule and you check it off each time you get something done, and that's living with intention. No. That's a schedule. Okay, that is a schedule that you're following. What I mean, so let's kind of get into it. What I mean is living with intention is, number one, becoming present in the moment. That is the biggest thing. Becoming present in the moment of what you're currently doing. When you wake up in the morning, are you allowing everything else on the outside to affect what you're doing? Are you allowing it to take over your life, to take over your day, to take over whatever you're doing? We can sit there and allow the outside influences to take us over. And so living in with intention kind of just goes by the way of the dodo, because we're not on purpose choosing a different path. Each day we got to choose, guys. And I've discovered this. You can't just tell yourself, I'm going to live with intention now, and then every day it will be intentionally lived on purpose. This is every day you got to wake up and you got to say it to yourself, say it out loud. Today I am living with intention and I'm living on purpose, and I am choosing my own path. I am choosing the direction of my life despite what other people have on their agenda for us, or outside influences. Okay, so if that's a little confusing, I know at first I was like, okay, when I first learned about intention, I was with Toby, I thought as, oh, well, I intend to exercise every day. I intend, until I knew the true meaning of what intention meant for me, I thought it was just all the outside influences, So, yeah, really just how, like, when you wake up during the day, what is the first thing you do? A lot of times what people will do is they'll wake up and they'll go down this thing on their cell phones, and they'll just get on their emails and mindlessness, basically.
Mind-numbing.
Yeah, there you go, I could think.
Mind-numbing, droning emails.
Look at your emails.
Hell.
Yeah, look at your emails. Scroll Facebook. And get on the news, right? And listen to all the bad stuff that's going on around the world. Get yourself down and depressed. And then you've got all these interruptions for the day, right? You've got all this stuff coming to you. And all these things happening. And before you know it, it's the end of the day. You're exhausted, you're tired. And you just mind-numbingly went through your day without focusing on you, without focusing on what you are doing in the present moment. So, and that is the biggest thing. Like I said, the biggest thing is becoming present within yourself, becoming present in the moment. And practicing, you've heard me say it before, guys, you could probably say it out loud, practicing what? Mindfulness. Being consciously aware of what is going on and what you are going to be focusing on for the day. And, when I used to be, I'll kind of backtrack a little bit. When I first started to learn about this, I was one of those people that thought I could just start up a schedule and I'd have everything written down that I need to do. And I woke up and I wonder why that didn't work for me. I was doing it for a little while and thinking, okay, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how people tell you that you should how you should control your day. Is make yourself a long list of things to do, get up and do them. But what I found is I got bored. I guess it was like a drudgery to go and look at my schedule and go, okay, at 10 a.m. I gotta do this, and 11:30 I gotta do this, And it's not that we don't have things we gotta do. I mean, there are times we've got to keep appointments. There are times client calls, personal errands, things of that nature, doctor's appointments. You have to have a schedule for that. You got to have a time frame, especially in coaching for those kind of things. Yes. But what I'm talking about is you keep to such a tight schedule that every day is not living with intentions and living with drudgery. Why are you doing that? You know, and I found myself just getting bored of that, going, okay, this is no longer fun. This is no longer fun. I'm sitting here keeping to this tight agenda, and I kept looking at it, and I had no purpose. I didn't feel like I was doing it on purpose. I wasn't choosing to have fun with it. I was choosing what everybody else thought I should be doing. And that wasn't in integrity with who I was anymore. I found out that it, you know, and if the schedule works for you, I'm not saying not use a scheduler, okay? I'm not saying that at all. And how scheduling came in with intention, it really does work with that too, because sometimes we confuse it. We confuse living our lives with intention and purpose to a schedule. That's not real, guys. And
the schedule is nothing more than an organization of tasks that you have to do.
Yeah.
Or appointments that you have to make.
Yeah.
That is all a schedule is. Do not confuse it with intention.
Yeah, and there's some people that I've talked to before that have thought that way. That, oh, well, my intention is working my schedule every day for my business. Okay.
That's not an intention.
No.
That's your job for the day.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Okay, saying it that way, I intend to follow my schedule today, is the same as I have a New Year's resolution that I will not kick the dog anymore. Well, I'm sorry, sometimes you have to just kick that dang dog.
Poor dog. We're terrible, guys. I'm sorry.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the saying you intend to is the same as the New Year's resolution that you never do.
Exactly.
Living with intention, okay, is something comes up and you have to make a decision right there. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's go time, decision time. Okay?
Yeah.
Instead of opening your trap, opening your planner, opening your schedule, look inside yourself first. To your core values, your core beliefs.
Right, right.
Weigh what's going on in front of you and come up with an answer, come up with your solution to whatever decision you have to make. Looking in on yourself, on your core values, your core beliefs, that is living in intention.
Right. It is.
Driving your decision making, driving yourself in the direction of your personal beliefs, goals, and what drives you to make the world a better place.
Right. That is so true.
That's living in intention.
And that's actually very well explained too, guys. It's very simple, but very hard, right? I mean, all these things that we talk about here in our coffee break conversations, and even in podcasts that I listen to, a lot of the things seem like they're very simple, and they are very simple, but we as humans make them so difficult, right? we make everything difficult. And it's very simple. Like, you know, one of the things...
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but, I mean, it sounds very simple, like, don't burn yourself.
Yeah.
But what's the first thing you do? You go over to the stove and grab the hot frickin' pan. Hello?
Yeah. I did that not that long ago, almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I
sounds simple, but it takes a little bit more brain power to actually accomplish
and
it.
see, I wasn't being mindful. I wasn't being in the present moment. I was in my head, and I was like, oh, well, I need to get some... Ow, crap! You know, and I ended up burning my hand, or a part of my finger.
And yes, that's the rated PG version from what actually came out of her mouth.
Yeah, exactly. But do you see what I mean, guys? You know, and so, you know, each day that we have, and this doesn't just go for business, okay? Again, this is for your life. This is a lifestyle change. If you're finding your own life that everything is just mundane tasks and you're just staying to the rules, you're following the status quo, and you don't have a purpose, a heart, soul-filled purpose for what you're doing, you're not going to be living in intention. And, you know, when I found a year ago, well, I actually back up, it's been 2 years ago, and I've struggled for a year after that. When I found my purpose and where I wanted to be and what I want to do with my life, where I wanted to go, and I had to go in and really do the inner work, like I said, it's not easy. I found what, excuse me guys, what living intention really meant for me personally, because everybody's different, okay? And I had a purpose. I have a purpose behind my life, and it's not just around my business. It's what, you know, like, when I tell people I have, you know, where I found my vision, my purpose, yes, it originated with my business and where I wanted to be in starting life coaching, but it went outside of that. The purpose went so beyond, outside of business. It went into the personal life, my personal life, our personal life together. It included just everything about the life that I wanted to live. That is intention, when you have a huge purpose behind it that goes out bigger than you. And so if you're like, oh, well, my intention, you know, like, there's been times that I will ask people, or I've been asked before too, what is your intention on this? Oh, well, my intention is to, like, make more money, and I want to travel more, and that's what my intention is. That means nothing. Because anyone can say, you know, and I'm just giving some very generic examples, because these are very popular examples of when you talk to people about, you know, maybe a business or what they want for their life or what they want to do. You know, we get a lot of that kind of stuff where, oh, well, I just want to get out and have more time freedom. Oh, I want to be able to be with my family more. That's great. Those things are really great. But that's not a true purpose. That is not a true intention. You got to go much deeper than that to find out what the purpose behind it is. If it's something that is soul, you know, you can, like, just reach inside your soul and in your heart, and just, it runs so deep in you that you get up in the morning and you're excited to live. You're excited for life, and it doesn't matter what's going on around you, okay? You can have this happen, you can have that happen, you can have all this bad stuff happen, the negative, you can get the negative, negativity. Man, I couldn't get that word out. How crazy. You can have all the negative stuff coming to you left and right. And you know, when you're living in intention and when you're living in your purpose, when all those things coming to you at any given time is not holding you back. In other words, you are still excited to live life. You are still excited to get up in the morning and do what you want to do, be where you want to be, because you can, and you chose. You chose that for yourself. You did not allow somebody else to tell you this is what you need to do. This is what you should be doing. Because we let outside influences dictate our lives all the time. In general, people do that. And I have learned that the hard way, and I have actually come to the conclusion that I don't do that anymore. I still have those tendencies at times to want to look outward, out from myself, and go, well, this person said this, you know, and I have to stop myself going, no. I am not living in integrity with myself by looking outward. And I've said this before, and that's really what it comes down to with intention and on living on purpose, is you have to choose you first. And you know,
that's not about being selfish,
No.
choosing you first.
No.
It's not about being conceited about yourself. If you're conceited about yourself, you have other issues going on. Okay, smart aleck.
No, I'm just kidding.
But
I'm kidding, guys.
it's about choosing your inner heart, your inner decisions, your inner built up intention from your core beliefs, your core values. Again, I'm regurgitating again.
Yeah. But it's good to listen to it a second time, because sometimes it's like I said, it's so simple, but we just pass it off. A lot of people just shrug and go, yeah, whatever, you know. And you can, you know, I mean, if it's not what you're really feeling right now, and you're not feeling, you know, that intention is not something you want to really focus on that right now, that's fine. But, you know, we're getting to the core of what most people, what I've observed, what Toby observed, what we've experienced, and what I've personally experienced. And that's why I love doing these, because all of these subjects that we talk about is stuff that I have had to learn the hard way. Almost every single time I've had to learn this stuff the hard way, which in a way it's not, you know, people think learning stuff the hard way is hard, yes, but sometimes too it brings out a different area of ourselves. It brings out a growth, a spurt of growth. And if we allow ourselves to grow in our mistakes and grow and learn every single day about how we lived our lives and the changes that we need to make, like if you're right now currently in that state of mind where you're living in your head all the time, life is so stressful, you're just on autopilot, every day runs into the same, every day feels the same, you need to look inward and go, what can I do? Where can I start within me to start to make those changes? And it all starts with you. You know, you can't look to your mom, to your dad, to your husband, to your wife, your sister, girlfriend, I don't know, whoever, friend. You can't look to those people for the answer. You have to start the answer. The answer is already in you, for one. It's there. It's just you are not open. Excuse me. You're not opening your heart and soul up enough to listen. And that's the mistake I made. I was always in my head, and I never settled down long enough and got quiet enough to really look in and go, what is my intention? How do I intend to live my life, and on purpose? And like I said, you got to choose every day. You got to wake up and choose every day. You can't just let it ride and go, yeah, it's going to be forever. You got to choose this every single day. And yeah, things come up. Mm-hmm. I mean, things come up. That's not going to eliminate crap happening. Okay. It's going to happen. But how you react to it, you got to keep that intention and living on purpose in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and in your conscious level, to where when something does occur that takes you away from where you want to be right now, it's taking you away and from, you know, maybe something that you really want to do for that day, because something happened, you can look at it as like, ah, crap, you know, well, there goes that, you know, now I'm screwed, and oh, I have to do this and that and the other thing, and or you can react differently and choose a different choice and go, okay, you know, that I understand this thing occurred over here, this thing happened, it was a roadblock, it took me away from, you know, where I wanted to be, but it is just a learning experience. It is a trial for you. It's a test for you personally to see how you're going to react to it. Does that make sense? And depending on how you react to it is how you're going to grow or not grow. Okay? So yeah, you can get all upset about something. It's okay. It's okay to express our feelings and our emotions, but be looking toward an inward self going, it's bigger than that. That's just a little bump in the road. That's just a little thing that happened. Once you get over that bump, you are still living in intention and on purpose, despite all those things that have happened or have been happening in your life. As long as you keep moving forward through that and not let it keep you stuck and stopped, you're going to live with intention every single day. And so, I think that sums it up really good. Like I said, it's been a hard run for me to understand that. I never even grasped that when I was younger. I didn't even know what that meant per se, living on purpose, because I figured my purpose was what other people wanted me to do. And that is the biggest roadblock ever, I think, to me. The biggest roadblock ever to living the life that you want and that you deserve, the biggest roadblock that you have to get over is letting go of the fact that you control, you have the decision to live the life you want, and others can't just sit there and dictate that for you. They can tell you stuff, they can say what you should and shouldn't be doing all the time, and that's fine. And the choice you make is going to be where you're going to be at. If you choose to follow what everyone else says you should be doing, you're not going to be happy. You need to find that happiness in yourself. And that was the biggest lesson for me in my life, was I always chose the other path. I always chose what everyone else thought I should be doing, should be saying, should be acting. And I lived that life for many years. I had great moments, don't get me wrong. I've had some really beautiful moments in my life. I'm not saying not. But I never looked at it outside of that. I never expanded my mind and my heart and my whole body. I never expanded it outside of what it can look like outside of society. And, which brings me, this is interesting because it brings me to a cartoon. It just came up. Happy Feet? Yeah, Happy Feet 2. The Krill?
Oh,
Will and Bill. I don't know.
Will and Bill.
I don't know if you've ever seen Happy Feet 2. Okay, it's the second one. And the krill are all together, and the two individual krills are Will and Bill, and they look alike. Okay, and the krill, they're all underwater, and they're just running with the pack. And is it Will or Bill that decides to take off?
Will.
Yeah, Will, okay. Will decides, this little krill, he decides he's sick and tired of following the crowd. He's sick and tired of following the big, massive thing of krill.
Swarm.
Yeah, the swarm. There you go. I couldn't think of the word. He's tired of tired of following the swarm. And he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he turns back and he starts going the opposite direction. And Bill, his friend, says, no, we are always the swarm. That's the swarm, you can't do this. What are you doing? And thinking he's crazy, trying to persuade him to stay in the swarm. And Will's like, no, I want to see what is outside of this. I want to see what is outside of this swarm that we're in every single day. So he does. He goes out, and if you've ever seen this, you know what I'm talking about. He goes out and he goes outside of the swarm to discover a huge, gigantic ocean right in front of him, with other animals and other beauty out there and other opportunity. And he takes the risk, and he lives life. This little krill lives life outside of the swarm. And then in the end, after doing this a while, and he's encounters all these challenges and nearly dies, and all this risk and everything. I mean, poor guy, right? But in the end, he does go back, but in the end, he became the leader. He taught the other swarm how to live a different life. Okay, how to survive and live in a different area. So, and I know that kind of sounds weird, but it's like us humans. We're in this swarm with everybody else, right? And we're not breaking outside of that with our purpose and intention. But once we break outside of that swarm and we really see what's out there and we really take the risk and just go and explore life, that is when you start to see the purpose, your purpose. That is start to see your intent, the intentions that you want to live in your life, what beliefs you want to adapt. And I have let go of many old beliefs that I used to believe. I have let go of a lot of different things that used to hold me back. And I've started to go outside of that swarm. As a matter of fact, the other day, a couple days ago, I was approached on Facebook, and because, I do a lot of, showing up on Facebook and everything, because I love doing it, so I got in a conversation with this lady, and we had talked. She had been following my page for a while, and she sent me a friend request, and I accepted it, and we started chatting on Facebook for a little bit. And she really liked some of the videos that I've done. So if you are watching, out there, and you've seen this, she really enjoyed the videos that I have been sharing with people and stuff, and she asked me to be a guest on her podcast. And I willingly said yes, because it was a beautiful thing to just all of a sudden be approached by somebody who I didn't really know at all, and she invited me to be on her podcast, to talk about my story, and to talk about some of these things. And I was so honored. In fact, I kind of busted out in tears of joy the other day, because I was so happy about this. And that is because I started to shift where I'm putting my energy. I started to shift living more on purpose and living with intention. And then because of that, it shows, other people can see that. When you start living in integrity with yourself and who you want to be, it expands outward. And you start manifesting these other things that come to you automatically. I mean, I totally didn't expect this. And so I'm so thankful, guys. And I'll let you know when when that happens. It's not this coming, actually this week, I think. Yeah. This week coming up that I have it. And I will share that with you on Facebook. I'm going to share, it's the...
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I'm going to share that podcast link with you guys so you can hear that. But yes, and that is part of living with me, living in intention, living with an on-purpose fire within me. So guys, I hope, excuse me, wow, I hope this has been helpful to you. I know for me, it's been a transformation period. I'm still learning, and I'm still, I'm hit with challenges in this area, because it's a lifelong learning process. People think that just because you're doing personal development or that you're a coach, they think that your life is perfect and you've experienced all this and everything's great and you have no problems with this. No. I hate to tell you, that you constantly will have things coming at you. But the biggest thing that you need to remember is figure out what you want first. Figure out where you want to be. You come first in this. And like Toby said, it's not coming from a selfish, conceited aspect. It's coming from your heart. Find out what your purpose is. Find out where do you want to live in intention, be in intention every single day and living in your true purpose. or do you want to be ruled by somebody else? The choice is totally yours. But for me personally, I choose choosing me, choosing where I want to be, and not worrying about what everyone else thinks about where I should be. So guys, I hope this has helped again. I know I tend to go off on these subjects because they just fire me up so much. And so, did you have any other things that you wanted to share before we close? And
I can't think of
can
anything
drink all
right
my
now.
coffee, so I'll be all high wired the rest of the day.
I can't think of anything else right now.
Okay, all right. And guys, too, I'm thinking, for those of you who follow me, wow, I'm getting mixed up today. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, and don't forget, I have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that. These videos do go up, and it goes right to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. That way you stay updated on everything, everything that we talk about. And I will be coming up with new things here soon. I'm still working on my book. It's been a little bit of a slow progression, but I'm still working on my book. I'm actually working on some programs. I'm getting names for my program that I want to start off with for my coaching. And so I've been working on that, things in the background. There's a lot of things happening right now. So I'm hoping to have those up as soon as I can. Like I said, things have been kind of going at a slower pace than what I wanted. But on the same token, I'm not trying to force it too, because I found that if I force stuff, it doesn't work for me. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a really, really good rest of the week. Have a great weekend, and don't forget to tune in again on my next coffee break conversations. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful day.